Minecraft is a game about creativity. You can build castles, engineer your own contraptions, and most importantly, play with friends.
Are we serious? Bro!
From collaborative survival to competitive minigame, one game mode stands out above all the others: Bed Wars. A game that used to be fun until everyone got too sweaty. Bed Wars is like a tower defense game where you defend your team's bed, which is what allows you to respawn after death while working to destroy other teams' beds. The game mode introduced many unique mechanics, but one that stands out is fireballs.
Normally fireballs are useless, only serving as a projectile to be shot out of dispensers, lighting the target on fire. But in Bed Wars, you can throw them at yourself and others, and unlike base Minecraft, they explode on impact, breaking blocks and sending players flying. One technique that you can learn to give yourself a competitive advantage is intentionally hitting yourself with a fireball to shoot yourself upwards, either to evade enemies or to cross over difficult terrain in just a few seconds.
This had me wondering. You can chain these jumps infinitely, creating a cosine wave, so I came up with two related questions. Because I'm interested and enjoy math, not because my evil teacher is forcing me to. Firstly, how many fireballs does it take to cross 50 blocks? And secondly, could a real human survive the force generated by a fireball?
To answer the first question, we first have to figure out how far and how high you go when doing one jump. To figure this out, all you have to do is throw a fireball at your feet while sprinting forwards. By looking at the game's built-in debug menu, I'm able to see my exact position at every point in the jump. Since Salus's recording software records in 60 frames per second, I am able to know with a good degree of accuracy what my starting position, ending position, and peak are. Once I've determined the amplitude, which is 3.75, and the period, which is 12.5, I can simply plug in my beginning x and y positions to the formula to determine what a graph would look like if I were hypothetically able to chain these jumps infinitely. Keep in mind that successfully chaining a jump requires you to time each throw within 1/20th of a second. The reason it's 1/20th of a second has to do with the game mechanics that I don't want to get into, but the reason it has to be so precise is to avoid spending unnecessary time running on the ground. Now that I've figured out the formula, I can simply measure how many periods are in between my starting position and my position after 50 blocks. By creating a line with the formula x equals starting position plus 50, and finding the intersection, which is at the chords 104.75, coincidentally exactly 4 periods away from the starting position, since the period is 12.5, this means that you need 4 fireballs.
Now that we have an idea as to how powerful these things are they too powerful for a human to survive? Obviously, we need to change some things. They are explosive after all, and the blast would be more than enough to kill you. For this video, we will assume that the only force acting on you is the upwards acceleration generated by the fireball, and obviously gravity as well. By using our graph from the previous problem, and a frame-by-frame analysis to determine time, we find that fireballs shoot the player up by 7.5 blocks in 0.63 seconds, which is an easy conversion of 11.9 meters per second, as each block in Minecraft is 1 cubic meter. Horizontal movement is not considered, as in this example, the player already has horizontal momentum, and it is not affected by fireballs if thrown directly downwards. By converting this speed to miles per hour, we find that you're boosted upwards at approximately 26.6 miles per hour. To calculate the amount of g-force you would receive from such a blast, we will first go back to our unit of meters per second. Afterwards, we can use the formula g-force equals velocity divided by seconds times the gravitational constant, which is 9.81 meters per second squared. Minecraft almost certainly doesn't use real-life gravity, but we'll ignore that. Your acceleration can be determined by subtracting the initial velocity from the final velocity. Initial velocity is simply 0. The final velocity is just our 11.9 meters per second we got earlier. By subtracting our initial velocity from this number, we can determine the acceleration to just be our final velocity. This is the numerator for our equation. To find the denominator, we simply multiply the amount of time, 0.63 seconds, by 9.81, which is our gravitational acceleration. This gives us a g-force of 1.92, which is nowhere near enough to kill a human being, as the maximum g-force a human can withstand for 0.63 seconds is 25 to 45, making fireballs surprisingly weak. A real human would be almost 100% guaranteed dead if the fireball generated at least 50 Gs of force, which would make the amplitude of the fireball jump 154 meters.